Have you ever noticed how some people always dress the same? Same color palette, same silhouettes, same type of outfit, almost like a uniform. At first glance, it might look boring, predictable, uncreative. But psychologically, it's rarely random. Dressing the same every day can be a strategy. Our brains are wired to conserve energy. Every decision we make throughout the day uses cognitive resources. What to say, how to respond, what to prioritize, what to worry about. By the time we get dressed, our brain may already be tired. So some people simplify. They create a personal uniform. This reduces decision fatigue. It removes uncertainty. It makes mornings easier. And that sense of consistency creates calm. There's a reason many high-performing individuals adopt repetitive wardrobes. It's not about lacking style. It's about protecting mental bandwidth. But that's just one layer. For others, dressing the same is about identity clarity. When you've figured out what feels aligned, a certain cut, a certain color, a certain aesthetic, repeating it can feel grounding. It reinforces who you are. It becomes part of your signature. You don't have to reinvent yourself every day. You show up as a stable version of you. That stability can feel powerful. But sometimes repetition isn't about confidence. It's about safety. If you've ever been criticized for what you wore, teased for standing out, or felt embarrassed by experimenting, you might unconsciously shrink your range. You find one outfit that works. That didn't attract negative attention. That didn't lead to discomfort. And you repeat it. It becomes the safe outfit. Repetition reduces risk. There's also the role of anxiety. Anxiety increases self-awareness. You start worrying about how others perceive you. Trying new styles introduces uncertainty, and uncertainty fuels anxiety. So staying within a narrow style range feels predictable. Predictability feels safe. In some cases, dressing the same can even reflect emotional stagnation. If someone is going through a difficult phase, burnout, depression, identity confusion, they may lack the energy to experiment. Their wardrobe becomes static because their internal world feels static. But we should be careful not to pathologize repetition. Minimalism is not insecurity. Some people genuinely love simplicity. They value cohesion over novelty. They prefer refining one look rather than chasing trends. There's a difference between being consistent and being stuck. The key question is this: does dressing the same feel empowering or limiting? If it feels like freedom, less pressure, more clarity, then it's intentional. If it feels like avoidance, like you're afraid to try something different, then it might be protective. There's also an interesting psychological concept called identity signaling. When you consistently wear similar styles, you create a recognizable image. That predictability makes social interactions smoother. People know what to expect from you. In a chaotic world, predictability is comforting, and clothing is one of the simplest ways to create it. But identity evolves, and sometimes your wardrobe needs permission to evolve too. If you always dress the same, it might be worth gently asking yourself, is this who I am, or who I've been? Are you expressing stability, or avoiding expansion? You don't need to overhaul your style to grow. Even small variations, a new color, a slightly different silhouette, can signal openness. Because style isn't about constant reinvention. It's about alignment. Some people dress the same because they know exactly who they are. Others dress the same because they're afraid to find out who they could be. Only you can tell the difference. If this made you reflect on your own wardrobe, subscribe and join this space. We're building a community of women who explore the psychology behind what we wear, where fashion isn't shallow, it's emotional, personal, and deeply human. Let's build a community where we don't just notice patterns in style, we understand them.